40 dating an interview. You know what? People have the misguided perception that when you hit 40, it's all said and done. But baby, let me tell you, it's just start.
Hmm.
I want to introduce my guest today. I have Miss Kelly and her handsome husband, Shawan. Ooh,
Thank you.
have a juicy, juicy story. And if you will, could you please introduce yourself to our viewing audience?
Certainly. So I am Kelly Mason. And what else? What else about me? I don't know. That's it. I'm Kelly Mason. And I am Shawan Mason, the spouse of Kelly Mason.
The
Indeed. The Masons of Durham.
Masons of Durham. Oh, Durham, North Carolina.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, baby. I used to live in Fayetteville. Oh, I'm going on a rabbit trail. But I love the Carolinas.
Yeah.
I love the fall season. I miss it here in Houston town.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you all have seasons?
No.
Yeah, just hot,
Just
right?
hot. We might have a week or two of cold. So, yeah.
Okay.
And today we had a cold day down in the 30s, which is
Oh,
highly unusual. Highly. Yeah.
that's chilly.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, let me ask my first hot question. What made you willing to open your heart to love again later in life?
I'm gonna go first.
Sure, I'll go first. So, for me, it was ensuring that I I experienced love for me. In my younger years, I made some mistakes, made some bad decisions, and I just came to a point where I decided that uh, I deserve love, and I deserve the very best love that is out there. A love that will allow me to grow, and a love that will also nurture and nourish my spirit. And here we are.
Wow. Wow. Okay, Miss Kelly, tell us your story.
Well, for me, my parents have been married over 50 years, and I knew that it was possible to have love. I knew that it was possible to have a healthy love, but I was really into my career. I was into my career. I was into my education. I was serving in ministry at the time for a number of years. And I had a desire for a relationship. I had a desire for marriage, but I really was more focused on those other pieces of my life until I got to the point I was in my late 30s and realized, okay, now wait a minute. A number of years have gone by. And if this thing is going to happen, I need to make room. I need to make space. I lived in DC at the time, and I quit my job. I sold my house, packed up my dog, and moved to the Carolinas.
Oh,
And for me, I decided I wanted love. I'm an executive assistant by trade. I served in ministry. I had served other people. Now I wanted to create space and room for me, and I was ready. I wasn't really ready to make room. It sounded good, sounded like something I wanted to do, but I hadn't really created room and space for it. So for me, I needed to create physical, geographic space and room. And a fresh start was what I needed. And I met this gent probably about 6 months into me living in North Carolina, and we hung out that first night. and we hung out the next night.
Hmm.
We went on a date the next night, literally the next night, and we were hanging ever since. So for me, I just was ready, and I was ready. I felt like I had had a good run in ministry. I had been very successful in my career, but this was the piece that I really wanted to focus on.
Mhm.
And knowing the way my brain is wired, I needed to make room, even geographically, for it. So I was ready at that time.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So, how has your understanding of love just grew as a result of this experience, the two of you becoming one?
I'll take this one
Okay.
first if you'd like.
Yes.
I welcome your perspective. For me, Sharon, like I just mentioned, my parents have been married for over 50 something years. And so that's what I knew to be what love looked like.
Mhm.
To answer your question, though, it took me a while to figure out what that looked like for me.
Mhm.
So there were good tenets, good principles, a great foundation, but it really did look different for me. The things that my mom needed, who was an amazing woman, and the things that my dad needed, who is a great man,
Mhm.
looked different than what I needed, and what my trajectory was in life, and what he needed and what his trajectory was in life. He and my dad are very much alike in that they are very focused on ensuring that their spouse, their wife, is well taken care of, well cared for, well protected, both gentlemen, all of those things. But what that looked like in a day to day was different for me. And so, what I've learned is how I like to be loved, and how he likes to be loved is what I've learned about him and what I've learned about myself
Mhm.
over the years.
Oh, it's my turn.
It's your turn.
It's the same. My example of love growing up was actually my great grandparents. My great grandparents, were the ones that raised me. And it was really watching how my pop really loved my nana and vice versa. It was great grandparents there's a gap there between great grandparents and then your actual parents, but um, just the example that I had, was just great. It was just like this real old school,
Hmm.
way of loving. There was the courting, that was, you know, um, there was the providing from my pop. There was the provision, and I just saw how they loved each other. They were married for well over 50 years, and just seeing that example and just seeing how they, really work through things and, work through their issues. I never saw them have an argument. I never saw them, fuss and fight. So the example that I had I just think was immaculate from, just from, watching them, and then, watching my aunts and my uncles, and, the way that their love was just kind of like carefree, and it flowed, and that helped me much in life, because going with the flow and then just doing what's natural to you, um, to me makes a big difference. So, just watching that example was very helpful for me. And then later on, just watching, just some of my other family members just kind of, just take on the relationships, and just learning and gleaning from them. And it's just been a great experience, in life, which once again, just led me to this place and led me to this point, and taught me how to learn how to love Kelly. So, just being malleable, being teachable, and just really listening and learning on how she really wants to be loved, and she taught me, and she's a wonderful teacher, and I'm a great student.
I love it. I love it. So, okay, we're missing that magic moment. I want to know, pretend I don't know you and you're telling me this, your love story. When did you both know, he's the one, she's the one? Okay, tell me that moment. Take me back to that moment.
I think when the actual moment was, we were connected from the beginning. Like our conversation was really good. What color was the dress I was wearing?
Kelly Green. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. No.
We met at a young Black professionals mixer.
Oh,
We had a friend in common, and it was like on a Thursday. I think it was during the week. We were both tired. It had been a long day at work. Neither one of us really wanted to go. And this was a young professionals mixer. So the expectation was that your attire was, elevated. This wasn't kind of just throw on something and come. It was business professionals, entrepreneurs, corporate baddies, corporate gents.
Yeah.
So the attire was intended to match that. And I was talking to another guy most of the night, and we caught eyes earlier on, and then later on, I went to get what I get to eat,
Shrimp and grits.
shrimp and grits in a martini glass. And the gentleman that I had been having a conversation with went to the bathroom, and next thing I know, I see this napkin slide on over.
So we were at the bar.
Yes.
She was at the bar with the shrimp and grits talking to this gentleman. I was on the other side of the room. I had been peeping her all night. And once I saw him step away, I made my way on over to the bar. And I mean, she was tan these shrimp and grits
They
up, but
were
she had
good.
grits all down here.
They were good.
And I took this napkin and I sat and I slid this napkin to her and I said, "Excuse me, miss." I said, "But it looks like you need a little assistance here because you got a little something right here." And she smiled, that smile. Oh my God! It does something to me. And she smiled and she said thank you, as she, you know how the ladies do, to be all dainty, and thank you. And from there the conversation ignited and we shut the place down. The gentleman that I am, I walked her to her car
That's true.
and I asked her out on a date,
Mhm.
old fashioned style. There wasn't no DMs or anything of that nature. I asked her out on a date and we went out the very next night.
Mhm.
And the rest is, I can't say the rest is history because we're right here in the present and in the now. So
oh,
the rest is now. Let me say that.
Yeah.
it is so sweet. Okay, Miss Kelly, I want to know, when did he capture your heart?
When did he capture my heart? Storybook romance novels would say it was love at first sight. I don't know that I would say it was love at first sight. It was definitely connection and intrigue at first sight, for sure. One thing that Shawan and I have been able to do, literally, and he was just talking about we closed the place down, is we have been able to talk. We could talk about anything. We really live in this like homie lover friend 90s love story life day to day, like genuinely, whether we're like in the kitchen and it's just us, or if we're out among other people, it's really just what the way that we flow. So I would say capture my heart was actually after he captured my mind,
Oh,
because we really connected mentally and intellectually, and the conversation has always been so easy. Always been easy. The heart piece for me, I'm just speaking for me, came later, but the mental connection, the intellectual, some people would describe it, I think to a certain extent, probably him more than me, we're both sapiosexuals. So being able to be connected to somebody in a way, in an intellectual way. So I'd say that was from the beginning. The heart was a little bit later,
oh,
but definitely the mind from the beginning.
that is sweet. I love it. I love it. Okay. What fears did you have about dating at this stage of life, and how did you overcome them, if you had any?
I'll go. Um, the fear that I had was I'm gonna mess this up
Mm,
again because I can't, not can't, but it's just just controlling myself um and really honing on that I deserve, number one, I deserve to love myself. And then I deserve, once again, I deserve a love that's going to really nourish me and create a space for me to grow and to evolve. And I just had this fear, like I'm just gonna mess this up because I've had a track record of just messing up and not executing things and really just bringing things full circle into fruition. And that was, I mean, that was just my fear coming into 40. I wasn't quite 40 yet when we met.
Mm-mm.
So what was I, maybe like 38, 39,
37.
37? So yeah, so late 30s. So it was just like, don't like dude, like don't mess this up. And that was just my fear. But the more you think about a thing
mhm,
and you sit in it and you say it and you
mhm,
speak it, it's self-sabotage and it's self-deprecating, right?
mhm,
And that was the thought that I had. Those were always the thoughts that I had. And it got to a point where I said to myself, I'm like, no, you are worthy of it. And speak that over your life
mhm,
and position yourself so that you can receive that. So
mhm,
that had just been my fear for the longest, coming into this space of meeting my wife, was just the fear of not getting it right.
mhm, mhm. I remember very distinctly, Kelly, how when you spoke of your union, it was empowering. From the stage, you could feel this, I would say, warmth, this glow. You know when things properly align themselves.
Mhm.
And in that alignment, there is, and I don't want to use, because energy is such a small word. I want to use the word power. Okay. This power comes about that cements and glues and makes two entities one. And when you spoke of your relationship with him, we were already mesmerized. But when you spoke about your relationship with him, it was like not only were we mesmerized, but we saw stars. Okay. And that's why I'm curious. Do you all see stars when you're in each other's company? Because y'all made us see stars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you for such
Thank you.
kind words.
Yes.
I would, I don't know, sometimes, let me say this, we're both ambiverts. So we can definitely lean into both being loners. So you've got these two people who individually can be loners and can be introverts. And so we can get caught up in our own world a lot. And so our everyday, day to day connection, we're probably so used to what may be seen as stars. I actually appreciate that you described it that way. um, I would say from that perspective, yes, we are very clear that this is a divine connection, that it's a magical connection, and it's one that we guard and protect and are very protective of. from the perspective of we enjoy sharing it because we've learned over the years how empowering it can be,
Mhm.
particularly for people over 40 that look like us, even more so. Um, and so, magical with stars, I would say yes.
Mhm.
But we've also learned that mm, we have to get out of our bubble
Mhm.
sometimes because we're very content in our bubble. We're very comfortable in our bubble. And, it's important too that we like to live a life that can be empowering, even if we're not saying anything. We don't have to be in front, we don't have to be on a microphone. We're very cognizant of our impact
Mm. Mm.
and being mindful and intentional of how we share that impact.
So, how did past relationships shape you or prepare you for this divine connection?
Let me go first.
Yeah.
Okay. uh, for me, I actually didn't have a lot of relationships to lean into
Mhm.
because I was in ministry, because I was a leader in ministry. I always wanted to live what I was teaching. And so I had actually been abstinent for 17 years and hadn't really been on the dating scene. So I was actually pretty naive to be my age. So I was really trying to figure this thing out as we met and then figure out him. And I believe in a dating roster. So we were both dating people when we met. We were single until we were not. And for me, it was really a lot of me just figuring out me because I didn't know what Kelli looked like without a title, without all of the accoutrements, just what Kelli looked like.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I was figuring that out.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. Well, for me, I was I was one way. And one thing I will say is that what my past relationships taught me was this is not the way you have to be.
Mhm.
I didn't know who I was though in
Mhm.
those past relationships.
Mhm.
And going to therapy was probably not, I'm not even going to say probably that by far was the best decision I've ever made.
Mhm.
Um, personally and as an individual, that was the best thing that's happened to me.
Mhm.
And, um, those past relationships, taught me to really look inside myself and say, what is it about you that you don't love?
Mhm.
Why do you feel like, that love is just some non-existent thing or love is only associated to this one thing?
Mhm.
And so, those relationships were learning lessons for me, and they really pushed me and propelled me into digging deeper and wanting to really figure out me and why I was going down the path I was going down. Why am I making the decisions that I'm making?
Mhm.
Um, because it wasn't because of the other individual, it was
Mhm.
because of me. And it also, though these past relationships also taught me accountability. And so, all everything for years was just a huge learning lesson for me. And it brought me, once again, it just brought me to this place where it was look inside. Who are you?
Mhm.
Know thyself, learn you, love you, and then you'll be able to align and position yourself so that you can, I don't even want to say find love, but that you will position yourself to be in a place where you can attract love, not find love, but attract it.
Receiving.
Be
And
available. All of you be available. I get it. I do. And I'm sure our listeners will get it. Um, okay, so 5 years from now, where do you all see yourselves? I'm curious.
Ooh.
in 5 years, we are traveling the globe. That
Wow.
is our assignment to be global citizens. We are to take this love journey on the road, in the air, um, planes, trains, automobiles, however we do it. And we have such an amazing path to travel.
Mhm.
And we are incredibly excited about that. We observe where we are 5 years from now, not where we want to be, but where we are.
Mhm.
So we observe that, we envision it, we talk about it, we speak it, we sit in it. We have this thing that we do where we actually talk about where we are and we discussing it as if we were in it.
Mhm.
Wow, that's powerful.
Like, babe, so did you speak with your assistant about the flight to Portofino?
I did. She said that there are seats available, but that we may have to take a later flight. So I
Okay.
was wondering if we could just extend it out a day as opposed to going in a day early.
I'm completely fine with that. We'll be touchdown. David is already, he has the hotel set, our spa appointments there, and then we'll have a meeting the following morning, and then
Okay.
we'll just go from there, and then we can hop a flight over, and we'll catch lunch on the other side of the coast.
Okay.
So these are the conversations we have.
I love
Is
it.
if we are there, this is how you
Oh,
are able to create your reality and manifest what you desire. You
Mhm.
have to you have to feel it. You have to be it. So in 5 years, we're traveling somewhere. We're traveling somewhere. The executive's atelier is flourishing. Um, my businesses, my lounges, my golf simulators,
Voice.
my voice acting. I'm having these incredible table readings and all of the things within these 5 years. All of these things are happening simultaneously right now.
wow.
But we're just catching. We're just moving and we're catching up to what we're currently observing.
Oh, I
Mhm.
love it. I
Mhm.
love it. My pastor a couple of weeks ago did a sermon, and the topic was, I want what I want.
Uh-huh.
I'll say it again. I want what I want. And hearing you talk about the future in the present tense, that's huge.
Mhm.
So, okay, Miss Kelly, what do you want that you want?
um, I want to create safe spaces. I am clear that we are clear. He has his divine assignment, I have mine, and then we have ours together. My individual assignment, as I really reflected on my life, is that I have been able to create safe spaces.
Mm.
But I want to be able to, as he was just saying, take that on the road, planes, trains, and automobiles. So, I'm clear in the different spaces that I move, whether it's the lifestyle content creation, or whether that's on the business side of the house, or whether that's supporting clients in the fashion space. I always want to create a safe space.
Mm.
So for me, I say that as a foundation, which can seem kind of esoteric and big, but I know that any place that I am operating and functioning in,
Mhm.
Even within our marriage, it's intended to create a safe space. I
Mhm.
know that I have been gifted to do that, and I'm talented to
Absolutely.
do that, have a proven track record of doing that. So whether that's in Portofino, off the Amalfi Coast, if that's, in Zanzibar, if that's, in Mauritius, wherever that is, or if it's in Durham, North Carolina, or if it's in Texas near you, I know I'm intended to do that. And so that's something I take very seriously and very intentionally. So that's the space that I'm in and I'll continue to be in.
Wow.
That's
So,
what I want.
okay. That's what she wants.
Mhm.
I love it. This
Absolutely.
is a great conversation, and I hate to end it, but we have one more question. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
The question is this: what words of advice do you have for people who were where you were when you were at this meeting and she was eating that chicken and grits? And you were like, okay, I'm waiting for this opportunity. What advice do you have for people who are in that phase, who are looking and waiting?
I would say two things. One, I would say that it is possible. Um, we see a lot to the contrary, and I think there's plenty of dialogue around the pool could use some cleaning
Mhm.
and refreshing and a regular maintenance. That pool being the dating pool.
Hmm.
So the first thing I would say is that to anyone that it's possible. I would also say don't settle.
Mhm.
Um, Compromise, yes. Compromising doesn't impact your non-negotiables.
Mhm.
Um, Settling requires you to let go of your non-negotiables.
Mhm.
But when you play in that negotiable space, that's where it really is possible. And to also the third thing I would say is that uh, we are intended to live an enjoyable life.
Mhm.
We are intended to live a life that does include pleasure, that does include joy, that does include laughter,
Mhm.
and getting into some new spaces, hanging out with some different circles and different people. And that could be locally, that could be traveling, but really knowing that it's possible, that you don't have to settle. Compromise, yes, you don't have to settle. But get into some new spaces and enjoy the life that you are intended to live with yourself, and that will emanate in the relationship when you meet and connect with a beautiful soul.
I agree. Oh, I have to say something.
Yes.
Yes.
The the actually the one thing that I would say is um, be kind to yourself
Ooh.
first, because at the end of the day, you only have you. So be kind to yourself, learn yourself, love yourself,
Mm.
because if you cannot be kind to yourself,
Mhm.
you cannot be kind to anyone else. If you do not love yourself, how can you give love or even receive love if you can't even do that for you?
Mhm.
So it's good to stop and take a beat. Dating is great. That's what we do. We date so we can experience different individuals and get to know different individuals and say, hey, This is who I connect with. But if you have not taken the opportunity to become one with yourself, then all of it is null and void because that's where the ultimate fulfillment comes
Mhm.
is is when you are one with yourself and love yourself. So take time to do that for you. Learn what you need to learn about you. So that way you'll be able to take that to the next individual and say, okay, I love me. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I deserve. And I am fulfilled where I am currently. And then you can move forward with attracting love and attracting that beautiful soul and individual that can curate a safe space for you to continue to be you and to continue to grow and evolve, but you have to do it first for yourself.
Absolutely.
Powerful, powerful.
Absolutely.
Well, oh, parting is such sweet sorrow.
We've
I
enjoyed this. This has been amazing.
well,
Absolutely.
I am so, how can I say it? I am committed to this vision. I am committed to empowering, inspiring, educating, and informing people of the possibility of
Mhm.
love. And
Mhm.
thank you for your contribution to this mission.
Our pleasure.
Absolutely. It is
Our
our
pleasure.
pleasure, for
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Ah, well, listeners, viewers, I want to say thank you for tuning in, but I also want to say love is not evasive. A lot of times we're running after love when love is already there. Why? Because, like my wonderful friend just said, when you love yourself, everything else takes care of itself. So
Absolutely.
thank you for tuning in. God bless. And I love you. And there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Absolutely. That's right.